These are the 15 new AI trends that will define 2027. Some of them are already in your phone or laptop right now. Others are hiding in research labs, data centers, and startup decks. Put them together and you can see the outline of how our digital future will be just 1 year from now. So let's walk through them from number 15 all the way down to the one that quietly reshapes everything underneath. Number 15, AI becomes the default layer of the economy. For most of the last decade, AI was a feature. By 2027, it will behave much more like an invisible operating system that sits under almost everything. You can already see the curve. The global AI market has already reached about $250 billion in 2025 and is projected to hit around $800 billion by 2030, growing roughly 30% per year. That kind of growth does not come from just one killer app like ChatGPT or Claude. It comes from AI being integrated into HR systems, logistics, marketing, finance, product design, customer service, and every new SaaS tool you sign up for. By 2027, non-AI-enabled software will feel like non-internet software felt in 2005. Number 14, generative media turns everyone into a studio. The leap from text to image was impressive. The leap from prompts to full, edited, multi-scene video is something else entirely. A recent Adobe survey of 16,000 creators found that 86% are already using generative AI in their workflows, and 81% say it lets them produce content they simply could not have made before. By 2027, the phrase, "I made this on my laptop in a weekend," will describe work that visually looks like a mid-budget studio production today. Personalized ads, localized versions of the same campaign, synthetic brand ambassadors, instant B-roll, voice-cloned dubs in 10 languages, all driven by the same underlying tools. The winners here are not just the tools themselves, but the people who learn to storyboard, prompt, edit, and distribute at the speed these models allow. Number 13. Service robots and humanoids leave the lab. Robots have quietly been in warehouses and factories for years. The difference now is that AI is giving them better perception, better language understanding, and better decision-making. The service robotics market is estimated to grow from about $70 billion in 2025 to $175 billion by 2030, a compound growth rate of about 20%. On top of that, a UBS study projects that humanoid robots will scale from a few thousand units today to around 2 million within the next decade, eventually reaching as many as 300 million by 2050, with a potential market in the trillions of dollars. By 2027, you do not need a sci-fi city to see this. You will see early humanoids in manufacturing, logistics hubs, maybe even high-end retail or elder care pilots, plus an explosion of smaller service robots in cleaning, security, and hospitality. Number 12, AI in healthcare moves from pilots to workflows. Imagine a hospital where the AI system watches vital signs, flags dangerous patterns before a nurse ever walks into the room, helps doctors read scans, and nudges the scheduling system so the sickest patients are seen first. Till now, this remains a pilot project in a single ward. A small team of clinicians and data scientists tested one model on a specific use case and wrote a paper about it. But by 2027, the pressure on healthcare systems becomes so intense that these experiments bleed into daily workflows. Doctors are increasingly relying on AI triage in busy emergency rooms. Rural clinics use AI-assisted diagnostics because there aren't enough specialists. Health insurers consider AI risk scores when deciding which prevention programs to fund. The money following this trend is already massive. Recent market forecasts estimate that AI in healthcare was worth about $14.9 billion in 2024 and is on track to reach roughly $120 billion by 2030, growing at around 40% per year. For patients, that number translates into something simpler. Shorter waits for results, earlier warnings when something is going wrong, and more of the boring administrative work will be handled automatically. Number 11. AI-designed drugs and hyper-targeted therapies. If the previous trend is about care, this one is about the pills and treatments themselves. The global AI and drug discovery market was about $1.5 billion in 2023 and is projected to reach roughly $20 billion by 2030, with growth close to 30% annually. That spending is going into models that propose entirely new molecules, simulate how they will behave in the body, and prioritize which candidates are most likely to survive clinical trials. Instead of waiting years to see if a drug is worth pursuing, AI lets teams kill weak ideas in weeks and concentrate their budgets on the most promising lines. By 2027, you will likely see mainstream headlines about the first widely used drug designed by AI and a growing number of rare disease treatments that would have been economically impossible without massive automation behind the scenes. Number 10. AI tutors scale personalized education. If you have ever tried to learn something from a generic video course, you know the feeling of this moves either too fast or too slow. AI tutors attack exactly that problem. Grandview Research estimates that the AI in education market was about $5.8 billion in 2024 and could grow to roughly $32 billion by 2030, which implies growth above 30% a year. By 2027, students will expect homework feedback in real time, not once the teacher has time to grade. Adaptive systems will watch how quickly you answer, what you get wrong, and which explanations actually help, then generate the next question set specifically for you. Teachers shift from being content deliverers to being coaches, mentors, and translators between the AI's suggestions and the messy realities of a classroom. The same pattern shows up in adult learning. Professional upskilling, language learning, and even corporate compliance training all start to feel more like a one-on-one tutor than a static slide deck. Number 9, AI shopping agents and the reinvention of retail. Search, scroll, compare coupon codes, shipping options. Online shopping is already a cognitive load, and AI agents are about to take most of that away. Expert economists forecast that artificial intelligence in the retail market will grow from about $31 billion in 2024 to $160 billion by 2030, at roughly 30% annual growth. On top of that, Morgan Stanley projects that by 2030, nearly half of all U.S. online shoppers could be using AI-powered shopping agents, potentially adding about $115 billion to U.S. e-commerce. By 2027, it will be normal to tell your shopping agent, I need a week of healthy dinners for 4 people under this budget, and have it handle the rest from recipe selection to grocery orders. Brands that optimize only for owning the storefront risk losing to those that learn how to become the preferred choice of these agents. Number 8, AI agents. As coworkers, not just chatbots. Picture this. You open your laptop on a Monday morning and your digital teammate has already cleared half the mess. It read the weekend emails, drafted 3 replies in your tone, filed documents into the right folders, updated the project board, and highlighted the 2 things that actually need your brain. At first, companies used AI like a smart search bar. Ask a question, get an answer. By 2027, it looks more like a junior colleague who can read, click, schedule, and trigger workflows across tools you already use. The shift is not just technical, it is psychological. People will go from asking ChatGPT something to delegating ongoing responsibilities to a named agent. The foundations for that are already here. Stanford's 2025 AI Index reports that about 78% of organizations were using AI in 2024, up from 55% the year before, which is an enormous jump for enterprise technology in just 12 months. By 2027, you might have a pipeline agent that keeps your sales CRM clean, a finance agent that reconciles expenses in the background, and a research agent that never sleeps. The people who thrive will be the ones who know how to speak clearly to these agents, set boundaries, and design their jobs so that the human part is judgment, negotiation, and creativity. Number 7, AI coding copilots rewrite how software gets built. If you know any developers, you already know this one is here. By 2027, it will simply the default way to write code and make digital products. Microsoft ran a controlled study where developers using GitHub Copilot completed a coding task 55% faster than those without AI assistance. Other research and surveys show similar patterns: faster completion times, fewer context switches, and most developers reporting that AI tools make their work more enjoyable because they can focus on architecture instead of boilerplate. By 2027, this is not just about autocomplete. AI agents will be able to spin up small services, write unit tests, refactor legacy code, and open pull requests that senior engineers simply review and adjust. Teams that learn to design systems with an AI teammate in mind will move noticeably faster than those that still treat AI as a toy. Number 6, autonomous vehicles and AI logistics. Self-driving hype has cooled, but the real work has not stopped. It just moved to narrower, more profitable domains. Fortune Business Insights projects that the global autonomous vehicle market could grow from about $2 trillion in 2023 to about $15 trillion by 2030, a compound annual growth rate of roughly 32%. A lot of that value is not in robo-taxis and city centers. It is highway trucking, yard logistics, mining trucks, port operations, agricultural machinery, and low-speed delivery fleets. By 2027, you will likely see more geo-fenced autonomy, where AI handles specific routes or zones extremely well, while humans oversee the system at a higher level. The quiet economic effect is that moving goods becomes more predictable. That reduces inventory, changes where warehouses are placed, and shifts which regions benefit from global trade. Number 5, AI at the edge, PC and phone that think locally. Cloud AI is powerful, but shipping every request to a distant data center is expensive and slow. That is why 2027 is also the year of on-device intelligence. IDC forecasts that AI PC will reach about 167 million units shipped by the end of 2027, and that by the same time, smartphones will already have crossed that number for next-gen AI capabilities, making phones the primary driver of AI into households. Other reports suggest that generative AI-capable smartphones alone could make up around 43% of all smartphone shipments by 2027, passing 550 million units that year. By 2027, that means a big part of your everyday AI usage will not go to the cloud at all. Voice assistants, translation, summarization, offline copilots, and personal data analysis will run directly on your laptop or phone with better privacy and lower latency. Number 4, AI versus AI in cybersecurity. As more of the world goes digital, cyber risk scales with it. Attackers use AI to probe systems. Defenders use AI to watch for patterns humans would miss. The global AI and cybersecurity market could reach about $93 billion by 2030, up sharply from the mid-$20 billion range in 2024. At the same time, Gartner warns that by 2030, around 40% of enterprises may experience security or compliance breaches caused by shadow AI, unauthorized AI tools that employees use without oversight. By 2027, cybersecurity will no longer be just a tool problem. It becomes a governance and culture problem. Companies will need clear AI usage policies, monitoring of high-risk data flows, and employee education so people know what they can safely paste into an AI tool and what must stay inside secure systems. Number 3, AI as a scientist's superpower. Beyond business dashboards and chatbots, AI is quietly becoming one of the most important tools in science itself. In 2024, global private investment in AI reached about $110 billion, with generative AI attracting roughly $34 billion, and a growing share of that going into scientific and medical applications. These systems are already helping design new materials, predict protein structures, discover catalysts, and generate more accurate climate and weather models. At MIT, for example, researchers highlight AI systems that interpret complex scientific data sets, build advanced robots, and help biologists, chemists, and cognitive scientists accelerate their work. By 2027, AI-first experiments will be normal. Instead of starting with a hypothesis and then collecting data, scientists will start with massive data, use AI to surface surprising patterns, and then design targeted experiments to understand why. Number 2. AI infrastructure and the data center power crunch. None of these trends exists without compute, and computing is expensive in money, chips, and especially electricity. The International Energy Agency, IEA, projects that electricity demand from data centers worldwide could more than double by 2030 to around 1,000 terawatt hours, with AI-optimized data centers responsible for the biggest part of that growth. By 2027, this shows up in very concrete ways. Massive new data center campuses near cheap power, tighter links between AI companies and energy utilities, new cooling technologies, grid upgrades, and pressure from regulators and communities who do not want AI growth to wreck local air quality or climate targets. Number 1, AI for climate, energy, and the grid. The final trend is not about another app, it is about whether all of this becomes sustainable. Startups working on AI-related climate technology accounted for about 7.5% of all climate tech investment in 2023, around $5 billion, and had already raised roughly $6 billion in just the first 3 quarters of 2025, about 14.6% of the total. At the same time, broader climate tech funding fell by about 40% in 2023 and 2024, making it very likely that the most compelling ideas in the next few years will be those in which AI directly improves emissions, efficiency, or resilience. You can already see that in real projects. In Texas, for example, a company called GridRaven is using AI-driven software to increase grid capacity by up to 30% without building new lines, by using better real-time forecasts of weather and transmission line conditions. By 2027, AI will be deeply entangled with energy systems, matching demand and supply, optimizing storage, balancing intermittent renewables, and even helping cities design infrastructure that wastes less. If AI is going to consume a lot of power, it will also have to be part of the solution that upgrades the grid. If you made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. And for more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.